Okay, might be a bit of a provoking topic, but that's not my point for sharing about this. I'm not trying to like provoke. Oh, let's be different. Let's provoke the girls. No, that's not why I'm doing it. But this channel's for not for mainstream people. Okay, some of you know that. This channel is for higher level women who really want to transcend this lower human nature, because there's no happiness or peace in this human portrait of itself. There's just too many problems, too many limitations, especially if you've had things done to you, abuse on some level. See, this is what we're going to get into. The mind wants to blame the man for doing that. All right, disclaimer. Yeah, on human level, totally, you got a bad deal. You definitely, on a physical level, are the victim and the man's the perpetrator. Okay. There's so much to say on this, I don't know where to start. To make it more difficult is when women are born, already, genetically, biologically, they're infused with a little resentment toward men. And then as they grow up, they're conditioned more by society in the world to to resent men. It's still a male-dominated world. You go to some of these other countries, it's really male-dominated. There's a law in, I forgot, Mongolia maybe? Forgot exactly the country. But if the girl gets raped, you know what the punishment is for her? No. Well, she does get punished, but you know what the punishment is for the guy that raped her? He has to marry her and take care of her. That's the punishment. Because it's like, look, you raped her, well, now you got to take care of her. Well, you think he's going to take care of her? And then there's other countries where, yeah, this is amazing. It's such low, I can't even say, it's like below animal level even, consciousness. Where if the girl gets raped, she has to, the family gets rid of her. Can you imagine? They're so tuned on what people think about them that they don't want somebody to they don't want to get embarrassed because their daughter got raped. So we gotta like get rid of her. Just let her go somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what they do with her. All right. Now, if I was in a female body and I learned all this growing up, and then on top of that, I had my own personal abuse, you think I'm not gonna get resentful? I'm not gonna have some resentment toward men? It's impossible. Of course I would. And then to make it worse, you see, you got a white guy making videos saying don't blame men. Yeah. So I already understand. I don't take it personal. I don't get many negative messages, but when I do, I don't take it personal because I understand. So I can hold space for that. It's okay. Like, yeah. So, how do you not be a victim in that situation? It's like I keep saying, my message is underpinned with a spiritual message. This stuff is too heavy. You cannot go to therapy or use some mental technique or anything to get rid of this. It's too deep. It's too deep. It's on too deep level. You need to go to the source, contact that inside you, let that show you how to transcend this. There's a promise in the 12-step program. When they read the promises, will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. I'd say this is pretty baffling. How to let go of a resentment or a feeling of strong victimhood when it's like, what are you talking about? Like, I am the victim. How to do that? You can't do it. Grace has to do that for you. There was I remember I saw a video on YouTube some years ago, It's the perfect example, actually. A Muslim woman, mother, her son got killed by this robber. The robber was on drugs. I guess he wanted the son's money and killed him and took his money. So now they caught him, and then he was in court. The mother goes to court too. She wants, and they sentenced him, and then it was, she wanted to say something. She says, Your Honor, can I say something? And the judge saw that she was composed. She wasn't going to go crazy or nothing. Said, okay, yeah. She got up on the stand, and she said, look, I forgive you. You didn't know what you're doing, clearly, because my son was, a good man, and you took his life. So here's what I'm gonna do. You took my son, now you're gonna be my son. How are you gonna get stronger than that? It's like Jesus level stuff. You're gonna be my son. I'm gonna come visit you in jail. I'm gonna give you money so you can buy stuff. and that's what's gonna happen, How did she do that? She didn't do it. Not the mind. The mind couldn't do that. How are you gonna produce that level of a consciousness shift? You can't do that. But she was very devoted to her religion. So she accessed this power that's in her that can do for her what she can't do. That's what it is. So if that's the message I'm trying to deliver, is first step, you be aware that you have resentment. Next step, something has to be willing, even though it might feel impossible, to let that go. Why? Not for the guy's sake. You see, sometimes the mind hears what I'm saying wrong. He says, well, what are you saying? You're saying forgive the men. What are you saying? They didn't do anything wrong? No, I'm not saying that. You're not forgiving them for them. You're forgiving them for you. Because otherwise you're fettered. You can't be free. How you're that block is going to be there, and that blocks. It blocks access to your spiritual power because you're holding on to this. So that's you got to be willing to let that go. And then the next step is you have to access the spiritual power in you. That's an individual journey. That's why I made the other channel, Spiritual Renaissance. I talk about that there. It's all about how to access the spirituality. And then I also made the other channel, Transcending Shadows, because on practical level, there's certain things that really help to raise our vibration so that a spiritual practice actually works. If we just live unconsciously in our life, but then yet we do our little yoga and meditation, we're not going to get much benefits. We got to have synergy. We have to live. There has to be spiritual continuity in our life, and then the spiritual practice will be more efficient. That's why I made the other channel, Transcending Shadows, because I go over certain lifestyle habits that help, that are conducive for one who's trying to be free of super heavy trauma or subconscious resentments. Preserving your sexual energy, diet, the company you keep, the environment you're in, doing introspection, having a spiritual practice, being of service to others. Being of service is a big deal. That cuts. That will cut this self-centeredness or resentment or hardened heart. It cuts it. The Muslim woman, she cut it. There's another movie I saw this is a long time ago, 20 years ago. When I was living in LA, I saw it's called South Central. It's about a father and his son. He went to jail. He went to prison. He was wild. He goes to prison, and then he got raped in prison. almost got raped, actually. And then a guy from another gang, they were like a spiritual gang or something, you know. He like took him under his wing because this guy had so much hate, the guy that went to prison, you know. And I remember this line. You see, there's lines I can't forget. I just can't forget them because they just, boom, they hit me. And the guy's like, why are you trying to help me? The guy that's wild. It's like, why are you like, what do you want? You want something. What do you want, man? Like, I'm not stupid. And then the spiritual gang, and he killed a bunch of people, right? So he's not like, you know, he belongs in there. He told the wild guy, he answered his question and said, this is how I break my hate cycle. This is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for me. Otherwise, this hate is just going to tear me up inside, man. So I'm helping you to help me. This is the power of service. This is why that's a big principle, you know, and that's why I consider it way high up there on the list of something that can raise your vibration and open the heart. So you have to find which service is right for you. But I'm saying it's true spiritual power there. You get more power from that than go into some, you know, I don't know, goddess workshop. All right, I'll see you soon.